Good afternoon, everyone. Just as a friendly reminder, please keep your microphone muted so that way Mr. Ford can be sure to have everyone's attention whenever he's speaking. We don't have to worry about background noise. I have a copy of all the questions you guys were asking throughout the session, but we do have the chat feature available if you have other questions that pop up. Several of you were asking about where to find the career cluster inventory. There's a couple of different places. You can find it in career readiness, career preparedness. If you are searching through ICEV, you can just search for career cluster survey and add that to your lesson plan. So there's a few different ways to do that. And most of you, it looks like, are asking for a copy of his PowerPoint presentation. We will make that available to you guys after the conference. So give it a few days, check back next week on the same EventMobi platform and it will be there for you to download. Okay, so Mr. Ford, a couple of people have asked about your student information survey. Can you kind of walk us through what that looks like and what you ask your kids?
Sure I can. That's just a little survey that I create on my own. Most teachers I know usually have their own survey that they ask the students to fill out: name, contact information, parents, best time to contact them. You used to have to ask about their schedule, but since it's now on our computer, we don't have to. Some things I also like to ask is what activities do they like to do, favorite TV shows, colors, things like that. Just something to get to know the students, kind of as an icebreaker. And I also include a couple of facts about myself so that the students can get to know a little bit about me in that survey. So it's just a little customized survey that I think most teachers already have something similar to that as they get to know me.
Okay, great. And can you just kind of walk us through, so whenever you do the career cluster, do you start off through your school year with it? Do you do a little bit of teaching before you get there? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, actually, in the career inventory or career investigation curriculum that you have, the career cluster is actually the second lesson. So I actually teach the first lesson first, which talks about the world of work and lets the students know the different things that we're looking at when we're considering a job. Work-life balance, for instance, salary versus hourly, and some of the different, whether your job involves interacting with people or if it's a solitary career. So I like to talk about that first lesson that gives an overview of the world of work and what work is about. And then I go into the career cluster inventory.
Okay, great. And what do you do for those kids that can't see themselves in any of the career clusters?
Well, that's pretty hard, but if they honestly take the survey and they answer from their heart, they usually find something that oh, okay, that sounds pretty interesting. I'll investigate that.
That's good. And so whenever you say investigate, how do you go about investigating?
Well, in the career survey program that y'all have, they have each of the 16 clusters broken down with videos and questions about each job. And the videos also talk about what education requirements, what are the physical requirements for this career. And sometimes when the students actually try to force the survey to a certain career, or they go investigating a career that didn't show up on their survey that they thought they'd be interested in, when they start finding things that they weren't expecting there, like my own story that I related when I found out about botany, okay, being part of knowing about forestry and all that, they changed their mind.
Yeah.
And then they seriously look at what the survey kind of says that you might be interested in pursuing.
Okay, great. And then I have a couple of questions about special population students. So how do you help those who are maybe your lower level or your struggling students?
Well, some of the lower readers, sometimes I'll partner them up with somebody who can read the question for them to help them answer it. Also, I encourage the students when they're taking this survey, if they don't understand the question, like the very first question on the survey, I do explain this one to them. It says, manage a greenhouse or nursery. Well, kids might not know what a greenhouse is. And if they say nursery, they're thinking a daycare center.
Yeah.
So I explained to them that the greenhouse and nursery is raising and selling baby plants. And then they say, ooh, not really interested in selling and raising baby plants, but
right.
as I would be, caring for little toddlers.
Right. And then I do have a couple people, it looks like in the chat, asking about what age group you teach.
What now?
What age group do you teach?
Okay. I teach a career development, which is a mandatory elective in the state of Arkansas that every 8th grader takes. So all the 8th graders at my school. So every 8th grader comes through my classroom at some point during the year.
Okay, great. And then this person in the chat said, is there a way to incorporate professional business office technology cert when teaching the career exploration? So have you had any experience with our certifications?
I do not have any experience with your certification programs. I have seen them. Do you even have a career interest certification? I'm not sure.
Yes, we do. We have one that's called Career Preparedness that is actually that we test for, that's issued by Express Employment Professionals. And to answer the question about the business office technology, this would fit as well, because the business office technology certification not only addresses like some of the Microsoft programs, but really how do you act in an office setting as well. So there's a lot of career related type application of working in an office, not just knowing how to format a document within that particular certification.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. And again, y'all, Mr. Ford did awesome in his presentation. And again, there are a lot of you asking about a copy of his slides. We will have those available for you. Keep checking back within the next few days, next week on our EventMobi platform, and you'll be able to download that. To get your, for the code to redeem for your points and your professional development code or credit is in the chat, but I'll read out the code for you. It's cluster, CLUSTER 042. And that information is in the chat, but one more time, it's cluster, CLUSTER 042. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you.